Come to Remora TC to trade like a shark and not get eaten by one. Let's school together to protect and grow our money. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is the last video of the year. It is Tuesday, the 30th of December, and let's just get started on the half dozen tickers that we have here, and then we'll have some commentary at the end. Kicking things off with triple Qs. The overall direction is to the downside. I've been talking about it for weeks, if not months. You can see it all here with the continuing bearish divergence. Looking into the more near-term time frame, you can see that the gap fill annotated here in the yellow box has indeed been a zone of resistance. I'm going to extend it to the right some more here. The video I did last week, which was Tuesday last week, which is this candle right here, this green candle. You can see that price entered the gap fill and it then got rejected. And all of this was based on quite low volume. You see the volume decreasing here. Overall, the direction remains to the downside. It's not the time to go long on triple Qs. I'm just going to slide my arrow over to the right. There you go. You can also see that I made an annotation in green here. This is where there's likely going to be a bounce. Okay, like it's an area where the mom and pops will want to buy back in. That's kind of natural behavior. The other area where they're going to do that is the 200-day. And I'm just kind of annotated like this. Okay. So there may be a little bounce there. In both cases, it is not the time to buy back in. The reason for that is the sharks are looking for liquidity. They are wanting to offload their shares, and in order to do that, they need buyers. They need people to come back in. So don't get sucked into the narrative that will be sent out during that time frame, because that's when you are going to be holding the bag. Switching to the next ticker, this is GDX, the gold miners. Over the past month or so, 2 months, I've talked about this double top area. And you can see that it's grown, all this divergence down here. So even though price action has been moving up, you can see all this indecision over here. You can also see very clearly that on this date, which was Monday the 29th, you had a slight increase in volume at 39 million shares, whereas these are all around 22, 26, 25 million, okay? This was a sell signal here, and it pushed it right underneath this trend line. You can also see a further selling down here. Likely on this day, which is today, the price action shows that, price opened over here to get people excited to buy back in. But this is a liquidity moment for the sharks to get out, and then they sold it down throughout the day, and then a further selling here, the last hour of the day. Okay, so again, GDX is not the rotation play. When tech goes down, everybody and their mother says, hey, this is the time to rotate from technology over to something more secure like metals. Well, you can see here, the metals are going to smoke you as well. So don't get sucked in to the narrative for the rotation play. Again, the general direction is to the downside. I'll just slide my arrow to the right. And the next zone of support is this trend line down here. Okay, so likely it's there. In addition, this annotated 200 day, I just kind of extended it here. Like that's my prediction. It'll kind of go over to this zone somewhere. It is going to be a little bit of a bounce, but overall, the general direction is to the downside. So don't go long GDX. Protect your profits if you've been long the miners, and take your profit and enjoy the start of your year. Switching to the Bitcoin index, weeks ago, I made this prediction that Bitcoin will go down to 58,000, okay, 58K. But as we all know, price doesn't move suddenly. It will gradually get there. What you can see over the past couple of weeks is a lot of sideways action. To me, this is a consolidation phase. It's the sharks trying to get the mom and pops and the small guys like us to buy back in. They need the liquidity. Now what they're doing, and you can see the volume is dropping, consistently dropping here. And as the volume drops, there will be a moment where someone will hold the bag, and I hope it's not you. I'm going to adjust my flag here. If you remember from when I drew the flag back in this November timeframe, it's really just a guess how the flag would look. Okay, flag annotation is just one way to draw lines on a chart. I'm going to adjust it because I can kind of see the price action moving slightly differently. Okay, so I might just go like this and slide this up here, maybe like this. All right, it's not a science, it's more of an art. Okay, and the flag will be kind of like that. There you go. Now the reason for this is that I'm trying to identify zones of resistance. Okay, so right now I'm going to move this down here. So all of this is a zone of resistance here. And I'm going to adjust this line and drag this one over like this, okay? So it's kind of like that. I'm adjusting it after the fact. But the main point is there's resistance zones. Okay, so I'm going to go like this. There's going to be resistance here. Let's make this red. And then there is resistance in this area right here. And actually, I'll clean it up, make it a little bit cleaner looking, just because. Let's go. Okay, there's resistance there and there. Now, if you watched in the last video last week, a week ago, I had a slight change in heart. I thought there was some building bullishness down here, which you can see, I annotated it. And then I also said that, it's possible that the price action might come up to this purple trend line again to retest it. But since a week has passed, I kind of see the low volume. There's all this low volume. It's very much sideways action. Hence, I decided to adjust my flag, and the upward move, the bullishness, I don't think will take place. If anything, it'll hit this resistance line or this one, and the general direction is to the downside, okay? General direction is to the downside, no change. Okay. Now, be careful with Bitcoin. It's highly volatile, and you don't want to be on the wrong side of the trade, especially for Bitcoin. Let's switch over to a tech company, Microsoft. The flag is playing out quite nicely, in fact. It's clean. And what I do want to highlight in the past week is this increase in volume on Friday the 19th, okay? Whereas all of these here, all these volume candles down here are below 40 million, right? They're about 40 million or so, 40 million and below. And then boom, on this day, you have a 70 million sell. Okay, that's a lot of shares on the 19th. What that tells me is there is a zone of resistance right here. So what we do is I'm going to annotate the upper edge of this day's candle, Friday's candle, is where the top part of the candle, not the wick, but just the body right there. That's a zone of resistance. Okay. So what that says is you can see in all subsequent days here, price attempted to push through, and indeed, yeah, for 1-2 days it did, but it hasn't stayed convincingly above it. Okay, and look at the volume down here. I mean, look at this day. The day that it peaked its head through, it's only 5 million shares. So this is, the dip buyers buying shares at a high price. That's why the volume's so low. So they're going to be smoked. Okay, there is resistance here. I'll just annotate it. That's fine. Upper edge of that triangle of the flag. But overall, the direction is to the downside. Okay, don't get caught. I've been warning everybody for a while now. There is no bullishness down here. No bullishness. So there's no reason to get back into the trade long. Take your profits. Be thankful for a good year of price action for those who are in it long. And then take your profits and wait. Switching over to Northrop. The flag on this one, I mean, everything is pointing to the downside. All the tickers I've been reviewing tonight is to the downside. This one has come right back into resistance over the past few days. So on this candle here, which is Monday, you can see price push right above it. I did my video on Tuesday, and I said there still remains resistance. And you can see how the resistance continues to play. Okay, let's delete this one here real quick, just to clean up the chart. Excuse me, there you go. So the resistance remains up here. You can see over the past couple of days, though low volume, I mean really low, 230 shares, 1,000 shares, but the price goes down, okay? There is no bullishness here. This is not the time to go long. So overall, the direction remains to the downside. You can see my flag here, my other part of the flag, okay? Switching to the other rotation that they keep talking about are the financials. And American Express is behaving as I expected, hitting resistance up here with a lot of bearishness. Hence, I put the shark to show you that the sharks are getting out. A lot of bearishness here. And I put this annotation that there's resistance, and indeed it's playing out. Overall, the move remains to the downside. No change in my tune. If anything, I'm going to extend this bearishness out like this, okay, due to this all-time high right here. But look at this. This bearishness goes back to July. Tons of momentum change being forecasted, okay? So be careful. I suggest that you take your profits. Additionally, Bank of America is behaving the same way as well. A lot of bearishness into resistance at this trend line up here. You can see my annotation continues to show that there will be a big move to the downside. So take your profits while you can. And folks, that is it. Those are all the tickers. The main thing is protect your winnings. So as we go back to triple Qs and switch to the weekly chart, you could see the triple Qs over the past year, what's this year, since April, has been on a tear. So if you were able to catch it down here, good for you to go long, okay? 50%. But I don't think it will continue. The momentum isn't there. So protect your winnings, get out while you can, and wait for when the momentum changes back to the positive. When it does, we'll see it here, I'll tell you. And then you can load back in and enjoy watching it go up. All right, that's the end of 2025. Thanks to all of you for subscribing, for watching, for giving me a thumbs up. I look forward to helping you and everybody protect your winnings and your money so that you can plan on having the money there for accomplishing whatever it is that you want to accomplish. Putting your kids through university, paying for medical bills, getting that really nice car that you feel you deserve to replace the 15-year-old clunker that you've been driving. All right? All the best to you, and I will see you next year. Bye.